Welcome to our Speaker Spotlight conversation. I'm Brandon Taylor for Information Week, and we're getting closer to our October 17th launch day for our live webinar detailing cloud crisis management, presented by Information Week and sponsored by Fortinet. I'm connecting with a very special guest today, Sherelle Moore, who is currently the SOC Manager for the City of Dallas. Sherelle also is an entrepreneur and owns her own organization, Cyion Cyber Security Services, LLC. And some of the service offerings that she provides are SOC buildouts, SOC augmentation, policy and process development, implementation, security training and awareness, and also incident response. And Sherelle will be our featured keynote speaker presenting during the opening session beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. Again, and she'll be detailing cloud crisis management solutions. And this live webinar will be sponsored by Fortinet. And so the spotlight is a space where I like to allow our featured keynote speakers to introduce themselves and then just give us a small preview of what to expect from their presentations. So again, Sherelle, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'd also like to thank you for your service to our country as a U.S. Navy Reserve. And so will you just talk about your role in leading the first line of network defense as an information professional officer with the U.S. Navy?
My first line of defense as an IP officer is pretty much to make sure that, applications and services are available during and after crisis, if any. So that was my role. I'm no longer there. Bittersweet. I miss my uniform. I always felt like, Superwoman when I had my uniform on. My job there as an IP officer, just to ensure that services, applications were available for all of the sailors if needed, up onshore and abroad. So my role as a incident manager is to ensure that the same thing, that the processes are in place, procedures are in place, applications are available during a crisis, making sure that backups, working with the DR and the BCP teams to ensure that everything that we have is available in the event of a crisis.
And so can you explain what entrepreneurship means to you? How does an entity like Cyion Cyber help with your role with the City of Dallas and vice versa?
Oh, that's a great question. What does being an entrepreneur means to me? It means creating opportunities for other people, not just for myself, finding financial freedom or being, employed for myself. It's creating jobs for other people. A lot of people are trying to break into the cybersecurity field and they're having a hard time getting in there. So I help mentor and bring them up to speed, get them the tools and the training that they need to help go forward for that position, help mentor them, provide references for them, give them their plan of action to break into this field because it's really hard. And how does that apply for my role at the City of Dallas? I pretty much do the same thing for my team. Whatever they need, I'm about promoting advancement and growth opportunities and getting them to a more proactive nature and instead of reactive, because everyone knows cyber is a more reactive kind of, we're not going to do anything until it happens, right? So I'm trying to get them into a place mentally where they start to see these things, they forecast them, and get ahead of any potential threats. So they work hand in hand. So whatever I do in my professional organization, I apply to my career at City of Dallas and vice versa.
And so some of the larger public outages that we've seen this year affected AWS, Datadog, and also Oracle. So how can SLAs influence potential outage solutions from cloud service providers?
Wow, another good one. SLAs are very, very important, and they have to be defined very clearly based off the organization's standards and goals. If you miss an SLA, 3 hours past an SLA, you have your whole entire organization could possibly be affected by that. So it's important to define the SLAs from the beginning prior to you implementing a cloud, or even while you're going through the process of fully migrating everything over to a cloud service provider, is understanding the importance of those SLAs and how breaching SLAs can affect an organization. So I think having SLAs in place from the beginning and having a strong understanding of those SLAs and adhering to those SLAs, I think it will definitely help get to that proactive state. As soon as we see it, jump on it and get it isolated and contained and, protect the larger vast of the network.
And so in your career, Sherelle, you've specialized in incident response amongst other facets of SOC management. Can you tell us why cybersecurity is often confused with cloud security?
Securing the cloud is also a subsection of job responsibilities for security analysts. Not really securing it, but basically monitoring it, the activity. Cloud security is more of a technology-based security platform that pretty much does AI, machine learning, and it does it on its own. So configuring your cloud security platform is different from an analyst going in and doing a recursive, scripting, looking at the SIM, pivoting to the firewall, pivoting here and pivoting there. You put the technology in place and the rules in place to secure the cloud, make sure that whoever has access to it has a need to know, making sure that the information is fed to it. And so I think they confuse the two because security is security. Kind of how, it's still taking us years to say that IT and cyber are different. So
Right.
there'll be a little bit of a cross between until people fully understand the difference between cybersecurity and cloud security.
Awesome. And Sherelle, I would like to thank you for your time today. And we look forward to watching your keynote presentation on Tuesday, October the 17th, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, detailing cloud crisis management solutions. Again, this keynote will be a part of our upcoming live webinar presented by InformationWeek and Fortinet. And again, we will be kicking off at 1 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to register for our live webinar at the link within the description box below this video. So you don't miss this wonderful event that we have planned for you all. And my name is Brandon Taylor for Information Week, and this has been our Speaker Spotlight with Sherelle Moore. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.